Next thing on the agenda, the city has land, for all of y'all who knows, down by the cemetery and the Trestle. We have land down there, and we have the John Benjamin Park in the area that's before you get to the Trestle. But the city, if everybody knows where the sewer pond is, at the Trestle on towards the sale barn, that land is the city's back in there. We have some canoers that make a living, bring a lot of tourists to town. Want to see what the possibility of them helping clean that area up for public use, and then so they could drop off and pick up back there, not in the John Benjamin Park. And they're here. Which one of you guys want to go first and explain some about what y'all are wanting to do? First off, who all's with the canoe places? Got 4 people back there. Would y'all introduce yourself, please?
Keith York, Thomas Komersky,
Lane Wright.
Kevin Wright.
Okay. And they have got some proposals they want to present to the city. So who's your representative to talk?
It's not the John Benjamin Park.
No, this would not be the John Benjamin Park. It's going to be on behind. The John Benjamin Park stops at the Trestle.
No.
Or not John Benjamin, excuse me. What are we calling that one down there?
Trestle.
Trestle Park. I said wrong. It's not John Benjamin. It's at the river. Okay. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Okay, Thomas?
So, yeah, we would like to see if y'all would be willing to work with us, to be able to take some tubes in and out, like Dane wants to put tubes in. I'd like to take some tubes out there. You already got a parking problem to begin with. That's something that got to be addressed either way. I mean, the cemetery's already putting signs up there on tow vehicles and all that stuff. Don't want to park no vehicles there besides trailer, bus. That'd be it.
And it would be behind in the area we're going to open up that's not part of the park today.
Right.
And we'd open that area up, and actually the public could start using it. I think the Wrights had told me that they would put canoes in, would have a girl down there, and they'd be responsible for picking up the trash on the park. If we'd allow them to do it, their girls would make sure that whoever's left trash for the day, whether it be their canoers or other people, they'd pick trash up every day during canoe season, which I think would be a good thing, so the city don't have to go picking up trash. They'd get it all bagged up and up to the trash cans for us, and then we'd have to go get it, but they're in agreement to do that.
So you just want to use you're wanting to pull out tubes, you're wanting to put in stuff. Basically, go ahead.
There's no parking, there's no nothing. You're gonna drop them off, you're gonna pick them up.
Right.
No public people are gonna be parking down there. It's just a simple thing.
But you are gonna have canoe buses running in and out of there all day long, right or wrong.
There will be buses going in
What
there.
is the income to the city gonna be, and what's the
That was
current
the thing else I was gonna say. We've all discussed it, and we'd be happy to pay a permit fee if y'all figure out.
What's the current going rate like down the river, like to pick out to $5?
On the tubes, it's everywhere from $1 to $3.
Okay.
And canoes, anywhere from $3 to $5. Personally, I prefer just to do a permit fee.
That's what I was thinking. Just come up with like.
That way, y'all ain't got to worry about is anybody cheating you. We don't have to worry about trying to keep up with every number of boats or tubes or whatever.
What's your average of tubes and average of canoes? Just average. Just give me a figure.
You can't go off of it. Last year there was a drought.
That's what I say. It's hard to answer that very accurately, but just say, on weekdays it's probably 15, 20.
Yeah.
Weekends might be 100 on Saturday or something like
I
that.
understand.
Sunday's gonna be way less.
Yeah.
And that's just pretty much normal. Holidays, it'd be more than that probably.
So are you going to have customers parking down here?
No,
So none of them will take any of the parking
No.
that we have now?
no.
Okay.
You already don't have enough parking as it is.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
But
and I
it's
mean,
really
that's no
parking
canoers. Nobody's
Right.
parking rigs down there, that's all public people, and I mean, you already got a problem with parking as it is.
The city needs to go in and add one culvert,
No.
and where we used to have, the city used to have a lift station down there that pumped over into that pond. That's not the cemeteries. we've got a good area there, we can get more parking for public. These guys are not looking at that, but as we address this problem, and you're gonna have, if people watch what they're doing on the gravel bar, you're gonna open up and big gravel bar back down there. You're gonna have some parking on that, but you're gonna be parking on a gravel bar. If somebody gets as heavy with a lead foot, they're gonna get stuck. If they drive carefully on the gravel bar, they can get in and out of down there. We'll have more parking over there, but we can definitely have more parking this year by putting one culvert in and go up. I've looked at that with Billy T, and Billy was gonna do it and just didn't get around to it. Billy didn't know that the city had that land up there by the cemetery. There's probably, 300 foot back from the Trestle Awards,
Oh,
that
yeah.
land that the cemetery's not parked on that side. We can probably park 40 cars, 50 cars in there.
Oh,
Thomas, explain to me exactly where you're talking about. Are you talking about to the east of the trestle, to the west of the trestle bridge?
upriver from the Trestle.
Upriver from the trestle.
Yeah.
So where would you initially access off of 70?
Same place. Got access, I gotta
So
come
you're gonna
through
be
the
going
park.
down, you're gonna be going down the road where the people gather and park and
I'm
swim and
assuming
all
so,
that.
unless there's a way to come off that Trestle Road, you know. I mean,
I don't think there, I think that's too steep.
Like that,
going.
there's a steep too.
Right in here where the trestle goes through, there's a big open spot right there where people, years ago,
Yeah, I remember that.
years ago, that's where your access is gonna have to go in there and go around to the gravel bar over here where the river comes through.
Basically, they'll come in through the drive, go straight, and when they come out of the drive, they
Yeah.
go out.
Has anybody been down there and looked and seen what we're gonna have, what it's
These-
gonna take, how much money this is gonna cost?
These guys are willing to help you get it cleaned up.
Care. We just want the access, we want the permit from the resident police.
And they'll help get that cleaned up themselves.
That's what we were talking about, right? You were talking about putting in the culvert, you're
Y'all
still
wanna
splitting
do
that?
that?
We're
and-
not, we're not here to make money off of it. I mean,
Well-
y'all gonna provide us with,
Well, no, we're.
That's what I'm saying, if they're gonna
you're
put
gonna
in
bring
the
more people in by
culvert,
doing
and
this, bring them
maintain
out and
it,
everything
why are
else.
we
So there's
charging
gonna be
them
more money
more?
coming in whether we like it or not. I mean, it's just how it is.
And it's gonna open up parking.
It's gonna help you out on the
I mean, it's
parking.
gonna
Yes.
help with parking, it's
Yep.
it's gonna help businesses, which brings revenue.
The only reason I'm for a permit is because then you open a can of worms, well, why do they get only access to it?
Exactly, I mean,
But
that's.
they wouldn't, I mean,
Well, they're the
They
only ones allowed to
truly-
pull canoes out.
well,
I'd-
nobody else has asked.
Yeah, but I'm just.
Personally-
Let me ask this question.
That's the only.
I personally don't think you need to limit any of the businesses in this area that are providing a service to get in and out of the river is part of tourism, guys. We need to get access in and out of the river. We don't need to limit, say, okay, you two are the only two that can use it. If the other guys want to come in and help clean it up, more power to them. I don't think it's, the other guy, I don't think it's going to be beneficial to him.
No, I
No,
can
he's
see
Uh,
that.
his spot.
Because of where he's located on the river. But I don't think we need to sit here and limit it to just
The two of them.
you two canoeing people. If there's another canoe company that comes in that needs to have access to it. I think the problem before, and the reason the council voted out before, is the rigs and the trailers were parked there, and you were taking up the space for the parking. This is going to be an area that's not open, and y'all put your trailers back up behind against the pond and won't even bother the riverbank.
Exactly.
I
You
think.
don't have to do is just let them drive in, pick them up, drive away.
So this is your driveway where you,
Structures, no,
right here,
nothing permanent.
where you drive down,
Like hit run out
and
today.
it comes down and opens up right here to this pocket.
If you open that up,
You
a
got
lot
this
of your
drive that comes around like this.
regular people that are using that
I
park,
remember years ago,
we're going to double the size of the park,
right here,
if not
the
more,
cell bar,
on river access to them. Because once you open this up, we're not limiting the canoe guys. Everybody's going to get to go back there and use
They're
it.
talking about opening that,
Huh?
that road back there, so they got access. Then they're talking about.
It's just like, it's whatever the liability of the park is right now. It's only
Right.
a different liability then. It's the same
We
area.
own it.
Yeah,
The cemetery's right
just that
here.
it extends farther,
You're just going to have a bigger area to
which
it.
I think people will like.
We
We
can
would
open
like
up
to be able to
the
do an annual permit, and, you know, we're not rich, we're working for a living like everybody else,
No,
at $500 annually
Well,
should be.
yes. They're gonna be coming
You know,
right through here
that
and
would
going in
provide
and
for
coming
things like a
out.
gate or whatever. I don't wanna go out and spend $10,000-$15,000 on tubes, to
Yeah.
bring in tourists and everything, and then 6 months later, boom, I'm cut off. I mean,
Right.
I
I
think it
understand.
would depend upon
Absolutely.
access. to the area, and it will generate curious and dollars. Substantial amount.
Are y'all fine?
Yeah.
Are y'all fine with a $500 permit for the canoers to pick up and drop off back there?
Yes, per year, yeah, that's
The way that
Per year?
these pylons are up in that trestle, there's no way of getting
And they're gonna help
further
with
back.
maintaining.
They're gonna help
the
maintain
road
and all that
putting in the
too,
culvert
and
And
then-
all
You
those
have to
things.
do it anyway.
Right.
I agree.
I think that's more than fair.
I think it's-
And the public's gonna have access. I think it's,
And the other thing, if we're paying a permit and people start complaining about, well, you're letting them in there, why, we
Yeah.
say, hey,
All they have
we're
to do
paying
is
a
come
permit
back
for
and
that
do it.
access.
Right.
What do you, how are
Be
you
safe one
contributing?
way.
right, sure.
Kind of helps everything out that way.
We leave our real.
All right. Are y'all two, you two over there listening, are y'all cool with $500 permit a year per person? And help get it cleaned up?
Let me just tell you my thoughts.
Are y'all gonna help maintain this thing too?
They're putting the culverts in.
Let me just tell you my thoughts if
Picking
I
it up,
can when we get a
maintaining.
chance.
Go ahead.
Maintaining the rest of the time because
Y'all have the equipment.
maintaining it throughout the summertime, $500 ain't going, you know what I'm saying, us bush hogging, us cleaning, us, you know what I'm saying? Are y'all gonna help maintain it as well? I'm fine with that. Because $500 is not gonna cover us bush hogging and, you know what I'm saying? But if they'll help pick up some of the maintenance on it.
Wherever we
Right.
go, our insurance covers our $2 million, so that's just things like that.
I mean,
They have to
there
weed.
shouldn't be really much bush hogging or mowing needed down there. I mean,
No.
mostly taking out some underbrush.
Once you get the underbrush cleaned up, there shouldn't be a lot of bush hogging to do down
Once
there.
people get to driving on it, I mean, it'll get,
Also,
That's the,
we need a speed limit down there. We do. Just need to be one there.
I think there's speed limit signs up in there, Donna.
Billy, whenever you get a
That's
chance.
good. We just need to
They
make
just
sure
need
it's
to
in there.
make sure that they go 15 miles an hour and not fly.
Billy, I'd like to elaborate for a second.
Go ahead.
I'm friends with all of them, all you guys, but number one, I know where it's at. It's off that. If I'm understanding you right, it's off that big rock that everybody jumps off of all these years, right down in front of the Jones' house, Billy Jones.
what we had in mind, and I'm sure it's probably what you're thinking too, is probably going across straight off of that paved parking lot and going underneath that trestle. And cleaning that up right through there.
It wouldn't be getting close to the
Drive
river.
back here and open up some parking for everybody.
That rock's on the
There
other
was
side of the
another
river, Alan.
access in there.
You're talking about those.
we're talking the other side.
No, I'm talking on this side. You're going down the road, you get to the cemetery, you take your right, you go down the paved access. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
So you're gonna have, I'm just playing devil's advocate. So you turn and you go down through there, you got a van, pull on a trailer or whatever that's waiting on somebody, or you got somebody waiting on somebody else, and they're down there. I'm not necessarily opposed for it or against it. I just hate to see us commercialize that piece of land right there when there's river property that can be purchased down the river that can be commercialized. I just hate to see us commercialize that, because I see a lot of little bitty kids about this tall. They're all swimming in the river,
That's why we're gonna go past that.
but you're going to go right through them to go past them.
People drive through there every day when they're down there swimming. I'm just speaking, I'm just saying, have you ever been down there on a Saturday? There's
Yeah,
kids
but-
running there wearing cars in and out like this all day long.
Yeah,
I'd love to put a strip across there, see how many people go in there. on
What
the
was it
weekend.
like? I think, huh?
I said I'd love to have a strip, to how many people go in and out of that place on the weekend.
Yeah, I just was wondering if we didn't have a better option than that right there for the city, rather than doing that. Because you get all the people,
You'd have to restructure
Most
your
people
parking
are-
lot if you did that.
Jimmy, most people are, not most, but a lot of people are disorderly and drunk when they get through Fulton River. Naturally, that's their day off sometimes. So you've got that issue, and then you got your access issue, then you got your small kids issue, and then you got, is the culvert washed out? I done it last time. I could see, I think the city, I'd have to walk it out and look and see
Hey,
what he's.
would y'all be picking the people up and taking them back And the buses, so they wouldn't be driving
Yeah, they're
themselves.
not.
There's not gonna park any of their personal rigs down there. Nobody's gonna be allowed personal rigs.
No
If a
parking.
canoe pickup, there's not gonna be any, we're not allowing that.
Billy, how far does the cemetery parking lot or cemetery property come down to the backside of the tables that are there when you first drive down? The ones on the right. Does it go all the way down to that crest of that hill? Or do we have some of the property where it gets on top of that hill right there? Or is that all cemetery to there?
No,
Where
we've
the big
got,
rock is?
you know where that pump station was?
I'm for that.
Yes.
We're about 75 feet on up above that.
So we've got some of that on top of that hill right there. We could, somehow or another,
Make a road there.
make a road.
No, we don't come out anywhere to get on the road.
That's what I was asking.
Well, the pump station y'all were talking about a while ago,
That sewer pond's got access.
on the other side of the sewer pond or whatever, what is the access to get in there? You have to
The,
go-
Right
the
now-
access that we've got into that sewer pond is off of Cattleman's.
Yeah.
So we can't open that, we don't have access off of that.
And the only other way is the trestle. And that's,
river, property down the river, whatever, commercial, that is strategically advantageous to us and to Lucky's. As far as property
But what
down
about
the
like,
river, it's not available. I mean, to
Right.
find any riverfront property anywhere right now is like gold.
I guess what I'm saying is, what about like Sean and Angela, for instance? You know, spend $1 million on buying a piece of river property to do the same thing, and strategically located, you know, for the canoe rentals or whatever they spend. I just don't know that. It seems to me like that there's a better way that the city could make an investment that y'all could co-op to access off of something, if we think about it, access that we wouldn't have all them little kids running around out there with vans and trailers and stuff. I mean, I live on Baker Road. I see gobs of vans and stuff going down the roads every day, and I'm thrilled because it's tourism for Glenwood, and like she was saying, hey, it's good. So I'm not opposed to their idea by no means, but I the part that bothers me is commercializing right through the cemetery, that part of it, commercializing it. Right now it's sort of private, there's no vendors set up, it's just kind of a quiet, nice little place. And I think that it might start off well, but it could wind up not being that great for us in the long run. But
That
that's
whole
just
place gets really busy. We've
Huh?
gone down there several times to that Trestle area, and it gets super busy. It would
Right.
be really nice if we were able to have more of that spot for the public, you know, like we were talking about. That would be good, I
What's
think.
there is paved and finished and all
Right.
that. What they're talking about is to the west of that.
Right.
Which is just gonna be gravel. That's what I was saying. I would be in favor of us doing it if there was a way we could figure out to do it right. You know, like expand our area or something.
I think to some.
But I'm just
degree-
one. I'm a minority, obviously, so it really
No,
doesn't
no,
matter.
I
what I
understand
think.
your concerns, I really do. We deal with it a lot. You come down there on a Saturday and a holiday, and you're trying to drive, and there's kids walking in front of you, there's drunk people walking in front of you. We don't have real accidents because our drivers are good, but once again, you're given a privilege can be taken away. If we can't manage it responsibly, you can always just take it back. I mean, that's. the
That's
truth.
right.
You
I mean, that's
You don't issue the thing
I
for
think
next
Don't issue
year.
your permit next year.
You should have the opportunity to try, and then if you feel like, or the police that go down and patrol that area feel like this is not going well, talk with us. We will get on to our drivers, we will, it's beneficial to us, when it's beneficial to you.
Oh, and the canoe people are good at giving us access, and helping us when missing persons, and they know all of every trick in the river and all that. And hey, I'm all about the canoe people, man. I got river property right down from there myself.
But once again, you guys have the power to give it, but you also have the power to take it away. So if it don't work, and you look at it and you say, hey, this ain't going well, just yank it back out from under it. I think you should have set things that we follow, and as long as we follow that, we're protected. You know, if our drivers are obeying the speed limits, if we're keeping it fixed up, if we're maintaining it, I think we should have certification in that area. But yeah, if we're breaking the rules that we talked to you about, I wouldn't blame you for taking it away. I do the same thing with my kids. So I think that's my thoughts on it. We should at least, I feel like, be given an opportunity to see how we do with it. We're pretty responsible people, and this is helping us, and that is our motivation for doing it well.
Alan, you said there was some land for sale. I mean, where's that?
No, I said there's land for sale down the river. It's just a matter of how much does the guy want to spend.
I mean, getting down the river is logistically useless to us.
I don't know of any down there that available, you know, for.
Yeah, hey, I'm not opposed to you guys accessing that. I just, my problem is occasionally we'll go through there, we'll drive through there, make that circle or whatever, and it's real beautiful with all them. It's not commercialized. Nice little families are out there picnicking in the grass and playing and stuff. And I just, my concern is that if the city wants to do it, they do it from a different angle, like to really give y'all access that we wasn't trying to take away. Because I just think there'll be a lot of townspeople griping, a lot of phone calls coming in if we do it that way, as opposed to if we do it a little bit different, we could do it in a way that it wouldn't affect everybody.
What do you consider commercialized? Because they're not putting anything down there. They're just gonna drive a bus in and pick it up, pull out.
I mean, it's still 50% of a transaction. I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? You still got to take the trailer down there to load the stuff up. And regardless, there's going to be the ex-wife or the girlfriend that's looking for the husband that's going to be driving back up. I mean, you're just going to have all this stuff. I mean, I see it at my house. People walking up the backsides, you know, I'm all for the canoe. And the river is one reason Glenwood exists, if not the reason. So I'm all about these guys back here. Everyone's my friend. In fact, his sister-in-law works for me for 9 years, probably.
Put a motion on the floor.
I've been down at the Trestle a lot. I go down there a lot at lunchtime and stuff. And I am personally more comfortable with their drivers coming in and out as some of them, because they know what they're doing, than some of the people I have seen coming in and out.
Oh, everyone was good,
So
great guys.
I don't think they will be the problem as far as safety.
No.
I understand, I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying, I wasn't even insinuating they were the problem.
I know.
I was
but
just saying
I'm
pure
just
logistics.
Alan.
So, would y'all be willing, if, like, I'm gonna say, if I made a motion on the floor, that we're gonna put, I could call it in writing, that, you know, you're gonna help maintain it, you're gonna help with the thing, and you're gonna pay a yearly fee, and then if these were criteria not met, we can, the council reserves the right to pull your permit at any time. Would y'all all be willing to sign that? That's my
And our
motion.
drivers are all,
Yeah, as long as we have the protection, you say, hey, as long as you follow the rules, you know, but I mean.
Well, I'm not saying we're gonna come and say you left a Coke can out there, you're done.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
Alan, if there was another way to get in there, I mean, that would be preferred. I mean, it really would.
I think it'd be better for you guys and us
I agree with
too.
that
Like,
100%. I just don't know how.
there's no way to go down the old train trestle and
Yearly
curve
$500.
up and cut a road
All right.
in there.
I pulled a lot of people out of there. I had people there's a bad spot there in that river, and I spent a lot of time in one that particular section.
Can you re-say it?
Above the trestle,
You
before you get to it,
I
there's
got it.
about a 300-foot long gravel bar.
My motion, I just make the motion is that we would write up an agreement that, you know, they help maintain it, help pick up the trash, help maintain it, and that they would pay a yearly permit, what are we gonna call it, $500?
And with the developer.
And then any time that criteria is not met, the council has a right to pull their permit.
Do I have a
It's a
second?
yearly permit.
I second.
Any other discussion? Have a motion and a second.
I think there's a better way to do it, and we ought to investigate that, but we have a motion on the floor in a second, so. But I would like to see the same thing accomplished that everyone's wanting to see accomplished for these boys, because they do a good job and they're good people.
Okay, any other discussion?
I'm good.
All in favor?
Aye.
3 to 1. Passes. Okay?
What was the vote?
3-1. 3-1.
Yeah.
Karen Barlow, Fund Grant.
Okay.
John Benjamin Lake, y'all got this packet?
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
We'll figure something out and